Flush all supply lines thoroughly before hooking valves to supply lines. Do not leave highly chlorinated water in valves during the sanitation process, or severe damage will occur. Long periods of dormancy can adversely affect valves. The water should be removed from valves during such dormant periods. Now we will mount the valve and bracket assembly to the wall. Choose a location where future access for maintenance and adjustments of the valve will be convenient. The valve must be located within 7 feet of the push-button operators and bubbler outlet. Do not use pipe thread compounds or sealants on any threads connecting to the valves, valve operators, and tubing nuts. Thread sealants are not intended for these connections and may contribute to valve damage or malfunctions and thereby void warranty. We are now ready to install the 1/2-inch tubing to our valve. These tubing nuts are a compression fitting and will be installed hand-tight on our parts and valves. To install the tubing, first loosen this nut, then slide it over the tube. Next, firmly press the tube in place and double-check that the tubing is fully inserted into the socket before tightening. Compression connections should be tightened, but over-tightening may cause damage. Next, we will connect the 1/8-inch tubing to the valve. There is not a nut on the valve side of this connection. Instead, there are brass hose barbs located on each valve module. When inserting the tubing over these hose barbs, make sure it is fully seated. For a new fixture installation, we recommend connecting the tubing to the bubbler or shower head prior to installing the fixture on the wall, as you will have easier access to the tubing nut. For replacement or retrofit applications, you will now need to connect the fixture side of the tubing. These compression nuts work the same as illustrated earlier on the valve. Make sure that the tubing is fully inserted into the socket on all connections before tightening the nut. The 1/8-inch tubing nut should only be finger tightened. Do not use a wrench on these smaller plastic nuts. If the valve is installed higher than the bubbler, you will need to organize the excess tubing into a loop to ensure the 1/2-inch line does not fully drain. This will help prevent the bubbler from spurting. We are now ready to open the supply stops if closed. Make sure to fully open these stops to ensure a good seal and prevent leaks. Then you will open your supply valves and check all valve connections for leaks. Next, we will actuate the push button several times to clear air from the valve and tubing. Check the 1/2-inch tubing at valve and bubbler for possible leaks again. Purchasing a spare push button will allow you to activate the valve from the chase side of the wall. For the final step, you will adjust timed cycle of valves as needed. The timing cycle can be adjusted using the timing adjustment located to the 1/8-inch air tube connection on the side of the valve operator. These valves have a small screwdriver slot on the end of the adjuster. Timing clockwise lengthens the cycle. Timing counterclockwise shortens the cycle. Adjustments should be made in small increments to achieve best results. As the cycle is lengthened, adjustments become increasingly sensitive. Timed cycles in excess of 1 minute require infinitely small adjustments. That completes this guide on how to install Metcraft pneumatic valves. Thanks for watching.